I did pick Mavs in 5. They're not going to win in 5, obviously. They're not going to win in 6. The series, however, is not over. And if we're taking, I'm just curious as a show, if the Warriors do end up winning, are we not going to do the Nick was wrong victory lap then because we're doing it now? I'm just like, is this the show we're doing it? Or are y'all trying to double down on it? A little Schadenfreude.
We'll do it again. We'll do it twice.
Here, okay, got it. So here's the thing, Antoine. I look at this series, and Game 2 was obviously the pivot point. The Mavs blew it, and that it's hard to recover from that type of loss, and they didn't recover from it yesterday. But I thought Poole would be mediocre. He's been mediocre. I thought Clay would not be very good. He hasn't been very good. Steph's been good, but he hasn't been amazing the way I said he would have to be in order for them to win the series. And Draymond, the best thing that happened to the Warriors in Game 2 was Draymond fouling out. So why have the Warriors won all 3 games? It's 2 people. Kevon Looney has been able to do what Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton were not. Punish the Mavs for playing small. Punish the Mavs for going small and be able to kill them on the offensive glass and score efficiently. And then the one that really hurts me, because this is a guy that I've been critical of. This is a guy that when the Warriors traded for him, I said it was going to prevent them from ever making another NBA Finals because I thought the trade was so dumb, and now I look so dumb. Andrew Wiggins. He's been efficient on offense. He's been a bulldog on defense. That dunk on Luka's head even, is just an added bonus. But Kevon Looney and Andrew Wiggins averaging a combined 35, 17, and 7 on 60-some% shooting. The Mavs have had no answer for it. They didn't anticipate it. I didn't anticipate it. So that's what I think I got most wrong, was that those 2 guys would dominate their roles the way they have, and that's why the Warriors are up 3-0.
Well, Nick, I didn't think that this series will be looking at a possible sweep or even a gentleman's sweep. I thought the Mavs could possibly take them 6. Out of respect for your guy, Luka, and what he's able to do on the offensive end and carry a team. And he's been great offensively. You got 2 40-point games. You wouldn't think you'll be down in the series 0-3. But it goes back to what I started with when I started talking about this series. It's about the others. I just don't trust those other guys in the Western Conference Finals to deliver for 4 wins. The Reggie Bullocks, the Finney Smiths, the Jalen Brunsons, the Spencer Dinwiddies. Those guys I didn't believe can get it done consistently throughout this throughout the Western Conference Finals to be able to advance or get past a team like Golden State, who's going to be very disciplined, who plays together. You got 3 veteran guys who've been there and been in this position many of times. And it's coming out and it's showing right now. Got to give credit, obviously to Steve Kerr and forcing the Dallas Mavericks to stay small. And then Kevin Looney and obviously Andrew Wiggins, you got that right, have been terrific. Andrew Wiggins has given up 40-point games twice back-to-back. You'll think, man, he's getting killed in this series. But he's actually been great. Just forcing Luka into tough shots, not making it super easy for him, but making him work on the defensive end. And this is the question mark. We talk about the great players in the league, Nick. We talk about when you want to put Luka in that conversation with LeBron James, KD, Giannis, because he does not play both ends of the floor. And this is what's coming out. He had to play defense this series, and he hasn't done it. And it can be simple things, just blocking out. And obviously he puts so much energy and effort on the offensive end to create offense for those guys. That's what happens. And Golden State is the same team that we saw when they were on their great run. 25 to 30 assists, 6 to 7 guys in double figures. Steph Curry's been, even he hasn't been great, but he's been aggressive. He's not allowed getting off to bad shooting starts affect his play at all. You got to give him a lot of credit. He stayed aggressive throughout this whole playoff. So this is a tough matchup for him. The Mavs have learned a lot, and they'll be able to move on from this series and build going to the future. But this is a tough series for them.
You broke it down well, Twan. And let me go back to Nick, because Nick is smart. Nick is like, you know what? Let me get out in front of this thing. I'll kill myself for doubting, for killing Andrew Wiggins before anyone else can kill me, all right? But I'm not letting you get off that easy, Nick, because you were just You were completely down on Andrew Wiggins, and I was completely up on Andrew Wiggins. Because here's the thing about Andrew Wiggins. I folded my hand on that
a year ago.
You did, and here's the thing about Wiggins. He has the talent. I think you would agree with me. The talent of a number one, the game of a number two, but the personality and demeanor and motor of a number 3 or 4. All right, so when he went to the Warriors, I agree. In Minnesota, he was disappointing, even though he averaged 20 points for 3 years. But when he went to the Warriors, and they've done a great job of this, I thought he would be perfect in the role of 3rd or 4th scorer. Now with Poole's emergence, he's the 4th scorer. And he can focus on defense. He's the 4th or 5th best player. Remember they did this with Andre Iguodala. Iguodala in Philadelphia early in his career, he was supposed to be the predecessor or the following Allen Iverson's footsteps and be the number one guy. And that wasn't the role for him. But when he went to teams, Denver, the Warriors, and became like a role player, he's been fantastic. And it's the same thing with Andrew Wiggins. And I'm not surprised to see him shining in this role because he can focus on defense. And then you have to pay so much attention, Wilds, to Steph and Clay and Jordan Poole that Wiggins can just do his thing offensively. His credit, he has improved his three-point shot. But Wiggins he's in the perfect role for himself in Golden State, Wilds.
That's a great take. The Iguodala take I never thought of, so that's perfect. The series is over. Everybody knows it except Nick Wright. Here's Luka's quote. I think after this season is done, I think we're going to look back and learn a lot of things. Uh-oh, we still got another game. Here's Jason Kidd. This is just the beginning of this journey. Okay, it's over. Yep. The Mavs know it's over, Nick. It's okay for you to say it's over. I didn't put the broom up this segment, but it's okay to say it's over. So let's move forward. What are the Mavs going to do? Because, Nick, you had what I'm referring to as a toothache of a take. And a toothache take is this. You know something is wrong. Something is wrong. Oh, what is that? Luka scoring too much? And then it just goes away. You're like, wow, looks like my toothache healed itself during the Suns series. And then all of a sudden you have a little bit of ice cream and it hits a nerve like, uh-oh, that is back in a bad way. Luka scored 40 points. Wilds. Luka scored 40 points, and their Mavs are now 2-6 in those games.
Yes.
Dusty made a beautiful graphic here that said out of the 71 guys who have scored 40 or more twice in the playoffs, Luka joined some great names. He's 2-6. Magic was 1-3. Duncan was 1-3. The thing is, they didn't do that all the time. That was an aberration of their game. Russ, a little more of his game, he's 3-4. So are you willing to say that this is still the right path for the Mavs, that Luka has to fill up the stat sheet and keep taking L's?
Because keep taking L's. This I won't allow. I won't allow the revisionist history of Luka. The take was 2 weeks ago. When they're down 2-0 and they're going to get swept by the Suns and then gentlemen swept and then Drake swept, that Luka was actually part of the problem rather than the solution. And now, because they've lost 2 games where he has scored 40, where if you watch these games, I'm just curious, Wilds, when you watched either of these games, at any point while watching them, did you say, ooh, Luka's shooting too much? Or was Luka making amazing behind-the-head passes to open three-point shooters, and they were just missing it? When I say you're looking at it wrong, my point is this. Luka, the reason they have a losing record when Luka scores 40+, it's not because he scores 40+. It's because he takes on more of a scoring load when his teammates don't have it. His initial inclination, much like LeBron, is get other guys going. But if other guys won't get going, the only way to stay in the game is for him to score. And so it's much like Magic or Duncan on that list. Russ is a separate issue. Magic or Duncan were not guys that often would say, I must go get huge numbers. But in a playoff game, if their teammates didn't have it, they would try to carry the load there, usually in adverse circumstances. So a guy who's averaging 35 points on good efficiency and leading his team in rebounds and leading his team in assists and leading his team in steals is not the issue here. The issue is that Maxi Kleber is shooting 14% from three, and Reggie Bullock just went 0 for 10. Those guys are getting their shots. They're not making them. That's just not. You're not watching these games. I know you're not, and saying, "Oh, Luka's shooting the ball too much." I know that's not what you're doing.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.